Hello everyone! In today's video I would like to talk a little bit more about how it's like to study in English abroad if English is not your native language. If you're watching this video, you're probably hesitating to study in English, or you're just wondering how is it like. It might seem really demanding, really challenging, or nearly impossible to study in English the entire program or even semester abroad. I was not a really good student in English, even though I aspired and I really had the goal to study at the good universities abroad. And thanks to this belief, I was able to study entire undergraduate program and master program abroad and fully in English. And believe me, it was way easier than I thought. So in today's video, I would like to talk about this process a little bit more, and hopefully at the end of this video you will have much more confidence and you will not have so many doubts about am I able to study in English or not. People think, okay, if I manage to get the Cambridge test or IELTS test, then I'm able to study in English. Well, technically this is true because this is one of the requirements. However, those tests are not about showing how good you are in English. They're more about how good you are to study their structure of the test. I know a lot of people who failed IELTS or who failed Cambridge, even though their English was exceptionally good. If you study medicine, it's probably different than if you study art. However, I suppose that you're going to study something what you're really passionate about anyway, and most of the resources are in English. English is the most spoken language worldwide, so if you're able to study in English, then you're able to work from anywhere. Before I will explain you how to actually get ready and how to make your English better and how to mentally prepare to study in English, I want to share a little bit of my story with you. Well, I'm from the Czech Republic and English is not my native language. I started studying English when I was 8 years old, and even though it's been many years since then, my English is definitely not perfect. You can hear it even in this video. It's very normal because English is not my native. My parents never spoken to me in English. Well, English was really not my strength. I was not getting really good grades and I was always punished for the wrong grammar. And this actually caused that I didn't have really good self-esteem and confidence about English. And I was often asking myself, am I able to study in English? Because even studying in your own language, it's very demanding. However, my dream, my goal of studying abroad and living abroad was so big that I was thinking, no matter if I will fail the course, I will learn English. So I applied and I was able to go very smoothly through all of the subjects. I have never failed any course. I had actually good grades, and the good thing was that most of my classmates, they were foreigners as well. The teachers very often, if it was not necessary, they didn't use very complicated terms, and if they did, they explained or they gave us time to search and look up for the meaning of the word. So how to actually get ready, how to make your English better, that you are able to study in English. Consuming content just in English on YouTube or podcasts or music or reading a books, that's very clear. However, this English is very often very common, and if you're studying university, then you know that the academic English is different. So I suggest that you step by step download an article about a topic which you really like. It doesn't have to be even connected to the program you're going to study, and that you print it out and you will highlight the vocabularies and you will understand how the academic English actually works, because this is at the beginning quite challenging to understand the academic English. However, the academic language is quite dense in every language. Very helpful technique is to search for the meaning of the words and try to explain it in English itself. Or if you're going to study in German, this works of course in any other language, Chinese, German, Spanish, whatever. This technique was using my professor in high school, and it was very helpful. Just imagine that you have some word which you need to explain it to your friend in that language. This really helps your brain to understand and go around the word just in that language, and believe me, this is very mighty technique. Some of the other things which of course are really important is to go to meetups, meet up with people who speak only English, or downloading a Duolingo or attending some language courses. And what is good is to connect with some other students from the program you're going to study and just ask them about the language. How is it like? People say if you already think in the language, then you really know it. I think that learning language is never-ending process. There is always something you can enhance and make it better, but this should be definitely enough to give you confidence and pursue the program of your dreams. And if you already study the program and you are still struggling a little bit with the English, then don't hesitate to ask for help of the professors, of your classmates. What has helped me a lot also was taking pictures of the notes, what the professor was saying, or asking for permission to make a video which you can play a little bit later after the class, because sometimes the content is so dense and it's quite difficult to understand. Then if you make a video and then you pause it and play it much more slowly, this is also very helpful, and you can write down some vocabularies which you don't know and you might miss during the class. But I believe if you already watch my video and if you watch YouTube, then you're definitely able to study in English. It definitely requires a lot of dedication, it requires a lot of discipline, but the rewards are high. And as mentioned, the English really opens many doors to you, and even though English is the most spoken language, probably in your country not every young person or not every person speaks English, which gives you massive advance and massive benefit over others. And just imagine that you're out of college and you speak perfect English. Above that, you're a master or you're really knowledgeable and educated in the program you've decided to study. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you were actually hesitating about English, or how did you learn English, what did help you, and I'm looking forward to see you in the next video. Bye bye.